Hello, welcome to Sportscaster News. I'm your host, Lawrence Owen, and my co-host with me today is Joe Nubo.
What up?
We won't have Ray Rout for about a week. I believe he's on vacation now, so
Yep.
Good
Gotta
luck to
take your
Ray.
breaks. Yep. I see you.
Yep. Have your fun, man, because when you come back, you're going to be hosting everything.
Yeah.
You know,
we're just gonna make you do solo streams for one whole week.
Yeah, you got to catch up with us.
Yeah. Yep.
So today's big topic, as everybody in the NFL world knows, yesterday Jamal Adams was finally traded. Adam Gase said, "Here's Seattle, take him. I don't want him no more. He's been begging to be traded all off season." Seattle's like, "All right, here's the world." Right? I mean, that's basically what they did. They traded basically the exact same package that Chicago traded to Oakland at the time for Khalil Mack.
For Khalil. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts, man?
I'm looking for the actual details because I know I saw it. All right. Here we go. Okay. So, I have my son here today, so he wants to say hi. So we'll get him on here. Say what's up, son.
What's up?
Anyway. All right. So here are the details. So the Jets obviously trading away Jamal Adams and a 4th-round pick in 2022. Wow. So that's even more interesting. I didn't even know so it's 2 years. It's not this next season's, but the seasons after. In exchange for Bradley McDougald, who's a safety, I guess, and a 1st-round pick in 2021, a 3rd-round pick in 2021, and a 1st-round pick in 2022. So, I mean, sheesh. that is quite a bit of value. But to be fair, though, Seattle, like, they just never really hit on their 1st-round picks, at least not recently, right? They go Rashad Penny. They went LJ Collier last year, I think, and this past year, it was a little bit of a reach, in my opinion, Jordan Brooks, but I do like Jordan Brooks. So, I mean, you know, I like it because I mean, I've talked about it. I think Jamal Adams is a great player. I think he is one of the league's best safeties, you know, currently. But I didn't necessarily think of Seattle as in like Super Bowl now mode, but I guess they kind of are. I guess Pete Carroll just thinks of himself as, I'm going to coach up all these guys. However, I think this changes this defense, man, because we were talking about how bad it is and all that, right? But now I think it gives a little more credence to my argument where I said that I believe the Seahawks are an 8-8 team without Russell Wilson. So I think it just feeds into that argument that I made.
I agree. Now, the last couple people, and you have to go back to 2012 when they got Bruce Irvin, and then further than that, 2010 was the last time they got someone, in my opinion, of Jamal Adams' caliber. And on top of that, it's the guy that they're trying to replace. I mean, he's the guy that they're trying to replace in that spot.
Cam.
Cam Counselor's the guy they're trying to replace, but on the other side of that's Earl Thomas.
E.T.
Yeah. So, man, in my opinion, I think Jamal Adams has a very similar play style to the way Cam played, right? Incredible. He's one of those box safeties, come up, hit you, that he can blitz. He's a guaranteed tackler. And, you know, I think I don't think Jamal excels on all the teams in the NFL. I don't think he would because of just the way his style and the way the Jets used him, right? You got to use him the way the Jets use him, and Seattle will use him the way the Jets used him with a lot of – he was the most blitzing safety in the NFL last year.
Yep.
And that's why he had stacks upon stacks upon stacks of stats out there and highlight reel clips and stuff. I think they needed him drastically. Last year, they were ranked 28th, tied for 28th in the NFL at allowing yards per carry to the opposing team.
Yep.
Tied with Kansas City. So they were as bad as Kansas City at stopping the run last season.
Sure.
And Jamal.
I think that's still a concern because they have a pretty decent linebacking core, obviously, with Bobby Wagner there, KJ Wright, and now their first round rookie. You're hoping he can step up, Shaquille Griffin, sorry. I get them mixed up. I don't know which one's which. It's one letter off. I don't know. Anyway, but the problem is their defensive line, right? It feels like they've put a lot of stock into this, and they drafted LJ Collier, and he didn't really turn out to be first round talent, which as a lot of us expected. And it's really just an average defensive line. But I mean, their secondary now, especially with Jamal Adams, isn't too bad. It's not that bad. I think it's pretty damn solid, along with that linebacking core. But really, I mean, it really just goes to the old adage that what is more important in today's NFL? Is it getting pressure, or is it just playing in good secondary, good coverage? So, I mean, I guess we'll see. But I don't know. How do you feel about this defense now with Jamal Adams?
I think they're still missing a piece, as you said up front.
Mm-hmm.
They get themselves a good pass rusher. I think they will be set. I think Jamal really, he kind of feels that, like we already talked about, the Cam Chancellor, the Bob Sanders, I wouldn't say Troy Polamalu. Polamalu did a lot of similar things, but I think he was better in pass coverage than what Adams is, right? But yeah, he's that style, and I think just with him being up there, being able to weave through a defense like the front seven and find the hole to hit a running back or to get to the quarterback quickly. He's got a knack for finding the ball, right? Mm-hmm. He's got a knack for it. So that will help a lot. But you need that front four of that defensive line. You need them to be able to be in their positions in order for guys like your linebackers and your blitzing safeties in order to be freed up to make those plays. And they are missing that type of player out there, that special player. That's why, I mean, honestly, he's going to play. He's already said, right, that he would play his final 2 seasons on his rookie deal.
On the rookie contract. Yeah.
That's right. He said he would. That he wants to be paid as the highest safety in the NFL,
right,
long term, but he would play. So that, in my opinion, that leaves the door open for them to still go get someone up front to help with the run defense.
Mm-hmm.
What if they went and got Clowney right now? Well, if they're like, hey, Clowney, we'll give you a 3-year deal. We'll have to tack on a little extra money, because they don't have the money to pay him big up front.
Yeah. See, that might be the problem. I don't know. The whole Clowney thing, man, I think I absolutely would make the most sense football-wise to see Clowney go back to the Seahawks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he would absolutely help out that team and that defense. But I don't know, man. What does Clowney want right now? Does he want the money? Does he want to go back to a team that he knows he fits? I think it comes down to what Clowney wants. And I've been hearing a lot of ties to the Titans. And I mean, if that happens, cool, whatever. But I don't know, man. I think at this point, it's just whatever Clowney wants. I think the Seattle they gave him an offer and they're not willing to budge. And that's just the situation they're in. They're kind of at a stalemate.
Yeah, it's not like Seattle. I mean, they're going to have to find somebody. Mm-hmm. And they're not going to have a first round pick the next couple of years.
That's true.
To go get one of them big run stuffing defensive linemen. So they'll have to get lucky, and they haven't had that kind of luck on the D line. Yep. So they're going to have to spend money in free agency, in my opinion, much like the way the Colts did. They couldn't find their permanent 3-tech over the last few years, so they just went out and said, hey, we're going to grab DeForest Buckner. Seattle needs to step up and do something similar to that, but they don't have a first-round pick to trade anymore.
See, yeah, I mean, what Wagner should have done, Bobby Wagner, he should have done what this guy did, Ray Lewis. He told the Ravens front office, he's like, I need someone up front, man. I need help out here. And that's when they went and drafted Haloti Ngata, who played nose tackle. So, I mean, I think Bobby Wagner should definitely have to do that. But obviously, I mean, different strokes for different folks. But yeah, it's a shame that the D-line is kind of so weak for the Seahawks because the rest of their defense isn't bad at all. I think it could be a very good defense.
I think I honestly, there's a player, and I would love to. I wish that Ray was here because I think he would have some words to say about this. But from what I'm understanding, the defensive lineman Malcolm Brown for the Patriots, he has not lived up to expectations, that first round pick
Sure.
for them. And he's still a very talented player, but maybe he doesn't fit in that system properly. Maybe if Seattle could maybe offer a second and a third round pick for him or something of that nature, and get him in, maybe that would be like that fresh start that a lot of players need. That could be an option for them. But man, in order to do that, the problem with doing trades like this is you're giving up your future, right?
Yeah.
You're giving up a lot for one player, and that's a problem.
So you kind of don't like this trade on Seattle's side, basically. Do you think the Jets came out with the better end of this deal?
I believe the Jets ended up on the better end, but Jamal Adams does fit Seattle's scheme. I think he will play very well in Seattle. I just don't like that Seattle gave so much for him. I think had Seattle waited a little bit longer and just offered a first and a third and a safety, they could have kept their other first round pick.
Yeah, I kind of do agree with you because I think that this is a move you make if like strong safety is your only hole on the team, right? If you know, oh, this roster is stacked, we don't really need to build for the future. We already got everything we need. We got all the pieces. We just need that strong safety or just a game changer on the defense in the secondary, someone to play in the box. That's when you make the trade for Jamal Adams and give up 2 first-round picks. But I think Seattle isn't necessarily, at least in a roster perspective, I mean, they're not a bad team, but I wouldn't necessarily say they should be a Super Bowl favorite, right? So I don't know, but maybe they think they are, running for the Super Bowl, and I'm just totally thinking wrong here. I don't know. Maybe that's how Seattle's thinking right now.
It's possible, but I'll tell you what. I mean, the Jets really did walk away with this. They got to be happy. I mean, because McDougald isn't a bad safety. Right. I mean, he's not nowhere near the caliber that Adams is. But you get 2 first-round picks and a third, and all you're doing is giving up a fourth, right? Holy crap. That means they got 3 first-round picks over the next couple years. They've got 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years to fix that offensive line in front of a certain quarterback.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, can you think about that? I mean, and let's see if they actually do that. But they should. That's what I think they should. They fix that offensive line. If they spend both their first-round picks next year and grab themselves a couple offensive linemen to go in front of that quarterback and then help the running game as well. I mean, obviously, because well,
I mean, the thing is that they're not able to draft a new head coach. So that's really a problem for the Jets, I think. But, I mean, I do like this move for the Jets because, I mean, like you said, you're only giving up a 4th-round pick from next year, not even this next draft, but the year after. So that's a pretty good move. And especially since it's a player, one of your star players, you don't want to lose him, but he wants out. You kind of got to do what you got to do. And they squeezed out a good amount from Seattle. So, I don't say this much, but I will say that I think it's a pretty good move from the Jets. I mean, considering the circumstances, obviously, ideally, you wouldn't have to trade away Jamal Adams, but, and also I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but like Le'Veon Bell had some words about this and, other players on the Jets as well. So, I mean, it just goes to show you what kind of a crap organization the Jets are, in my opinion. But anyway.
Yeah, Adams did come out and also say that Adam Gase was not the guy for the future for this team.
That's right.
Now, it's funny because you have these guys that are like, I want traded. And very rarely do you get guys who say, I want traded or I want out. And you get this kind of change out of them, right? Usually you don't get that much because everybody knows you're wanting to get rid of them. And they're just like, well, what will you take for them? Now, it brings the question in my mind, DeAndre Hopkins. Think about it. I mean, he was given up for a running back and a 4th round pick.
Yeah.
A 4th round. That's a guy that you give up
I
two
think it was
first
a
round
second,
picks for.
actually, but still,
Was it?
still pretty bad.
Yeah, second.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's a guy you give up 2 first round picks for,
Yeah,
right? He's an established, he could fit in any system, right? Big possession receiver guy. Yeah, but it wasn't known. That's the thing. It wasn't known that Hopkins was going to be leaving the Texans.
right.
It was known.
It was
Adams was not playing, right?
Mhm.
So that's unbelievable. Maybe they could trade. Maybe the Jets can give a first round pick to Jacksonville and get Yannick Ngakoue.
There you go. See, that would be a nice move. That would.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you would start taking the Jets front office like, oh, okay, I see you making actually decent moves for your team, for your football team. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, you want to go through the Seahawks schedule?
Yeah, we could go through this Seahawks schedule and figure out what we're going to do. We've already done this once this season.
And to be quite honest, I don't think it'll change much because I think I had them at 12-4, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we had them pretty high. Yes.
Yeah.
I still think I had the Niners winning the division.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, they can't get much worse in the running game defensively. Having that guy there at safety to help with the running. The Jets had one of the best run defenses in football, and Jamal Adams was a big part of that, right? Definitely. So I really believe that will help step them up. That they're not going to give up 4.9 yards a carry next year. It might just that one guy might raise it to 4.7 or something, and bring it into at least a 20, like around 20 rather than 28.
Sure.
I could see that now, depending upon whether or not they acquire anyone else, but we'll see. All right. So week 1, they go to Falcons. That's a win.
Yeah, I got to give it to Seattle there. I'll write it here. Let me write it down. So dub. Okay. So then we got the Pats.
Yeah, Pats going to Seattle. And the thing is I don't know. I think I had the Pats winning that game before. And now with Adams, I think they're better against Cam.
That's the equalizer. Yeah.
Yes. I think Adams is an equalizer against Cam. I think the Seahawks could win that.
I think I actually agree with you because before, for me, it was also one of those games that I'm like, I'm not sure. But now that they have that speed back there with Jamal Adams to match up in case Cam wants to take off, I like that matchup. So I'll agree with you. We'll give it to the Seahawks there. So 2-0 for both of us.
Yep. Here's one that we might end up switching on because I still believe the Cowboys are a dominant team in the NFC. And even though he's there, it will help against Zeke. But there's just so much aerial firepower for the Cowboys. I think that it's still going to be a high scoring game. I think the Cowboys could come out on top on this game.
Oh, this one is just so tough for me, man. I think I gave it to the Seahawks last time. Or no, I think I might have given that one to the Cowboys. I'm not sure.
I just don't think the Seahawks match up well against the Cowboys in this situation.
Yeah, see, I'm concerned about Zeke. If he's like running on all cylinders, like you said, and firing, the Cowboys could come out and win this. But if Dak has one of those Dak games and he only puts up 13 points, the Seahawks could win. So I'm going to bank on that and give it to Seattle.
Okay. All right. So we're split on that.
Yeah. All right. Next.
Seahawks go to Miami.
Yeah, no, I think that was an easy win last time. I'm going to keep it that way.
Yeah, we're going to keep it there. Okay. Vikings then go to Seattle.
See, before I had a little trouble with this one, but now, I mean, Jamal Adams is a game changer, dude. I'm giving it to Seattle.
I'm giving it to Seattle as well because I don't think that Cousins is going to do very well with a blitzing Adams in his face all the time.
Oh, yeah, especially with that offensive line that the Vikings have. Sheesh.
Then Seattle walks into Arizona.
Yeah, I
like where Arizona's going, but I just don't see it.
I'm not ready to give Arizona a win over Seattle just yet. Not this year, man. I still think they're going to get swept, unfortunately, but But I think they're going to be a good team, though. Pretty good team. Yeah.
Then the Niners come calling. I'm still going to split this series. I think the Niners will come into Seattle and lose in Seattle.
Wow. Actually, I think you had them sweeping the Seahawks, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think you did.
I think I did.
Your mind.
They're a run team.
Yeah.
And Seattle just got one of the best run stoppers in football. That equalizes a little bit on that. The Niners are going to have to throw the football more often, and I'm not sold on Jimmy Garoppolo.
Ooh, I like it. All right, so it's a split then. That's what's up. So let's, for the record, the Jamal Adams trade has changed Lawrence's prediction of the Niners sweeping the Seahawks. Let's just put that on the record. Okay.
Yep.
So next game.
Did you have Seattle winning that as well?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
I have them splitting. Yep.
Okay. Seattle then goes to Buffalo.
Again, I don't think Buffalo has what it takes. Now, again, if this is like a snow game, they could have that. Or if it's cold weather, the Bills defense could come out on top. But just for the sake that we're in July still, so I'm still going to say it's Seattle going to win for now in July.
I love the Bills defense.
That's
the thing. All right. I think that Buffalo's defense is really, really good. This is a tougher matchup for me than Niners Seahawks. I think that this is one of those situations because the Bills, when Allen is on, that Bills offense is on fire.
Sure.
But it's just whether or not he's on, right?
Sure.
I am going to give it to the Bills only because it's at home.
Okay.
And like you said, it's still, it's in November, so there could be a little bit of weather in that scenario.
All right, that's fair. I'm open to that for sure. I haven't given them a loss yet, just to let you know. So that's
nuts.
Yeah. The Rams, but I think this is going to be my first loss here. Again, I'm a little higher on the Rams than I think a lot of people are. I don't necessarily think they're going to, be at that level where they were at the Super Bowl or anything, but I think they're going to be okay vying for a playoff spot. They'll probably be in the neck of the division race for a while. That's how I feel about the Rams. But anyway, I'm gonna have them split with the Seahawks, and they win this one at home.
Man, they lost their number one receiver. They lost their number one running back. I can't. I'm not there with you. I understand why you are. I'm just not. I got Seattle walking into LA and just trashing them.
Okay. Do you have them sweeping them too? Would you say?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
I like it. All right. So then the Cards again. I said they're sweeping the Cards.
Yep.
Okay. The Eagles. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I had the Eagles winning that game, and now I am not so sure anymore. I gotta say, I'm not so sure anymore because, my whole argument was walking into Philly is a lot tougher than you might think. But now, we know there's not going to be fans in the stands in Philadelphia. They already said that. That's a factor. And also, the Seahawks defense just got that much better, man.
I'd like to bring up 2 points.
Okay.
1, this is a primetime game.
Yeah.
2, Seattle is traveling across the entire country to this game.
Good point. I think just 4 because I've only given them 1 loss, and I don't feel good about that, so I'm going to have them lose this game still against the Eagles. And do you have them? What do you got?
I think that this game will be put on the back of Carson Wentz.
Okay. If he's healthy.
Yeah. At the end of November.
Yeah.
Whether or not now, granted, it's a bye week for Seattle.
Oh, they're coming off a bye week?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So that's changed
it was a Thursday. No, it's not necessarily a bye week. They're coming off that Thursday night game.
Oh, okay. It's a mini bye week.
So, yeah, it's like a mini bye week. So that's a long rest for Seattle. 11-game rest. So I'm going to give this one to Seattle.
Okay, fair enough. All right, next.
Giants.
They got the New York teams coming in, and I think we had them sweeping both, and I'm going to have to say the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
that Jamal Adams going into Seattle did not make the Giants or the Jets any better.
Exactly.
Especially did not make the Jets any
Yeah,
better.
exactly.
Then they go to the Washington football team.
The Washington football team. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's a win.
Yeah, I got you too.
Okay.
And then Rams go into Seattle.
That's a dub.
That is a win.
And finally, the Niners, they end the season with a loss for me.
They end the season with a loss from me.
All right, so here we go. Absolutely crazy. So let's remember, I'm pretty sure Lawrence had them going 10-6 pre-Jamal Adams trade, correct? I think that's what it was.
I think it was.
And I had them going 12-4. Now, my record is 13-3. So, in my opinion, Jamal Adams makes them one win better. So, I already thought they were a good team. This just makes them an even more dominant team.
When one player who is not a quarterback
Mhm.
can get you wins on
Yep.
on a weekly scale, that's a big pickup.
Absolutely. And even better, Lawrence has them with the same record, 13-3. So, a 3-win difference is what Jamal Adams gave them, according to Lawrence.
I think because they could stop the run, it helps them out so much more.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, that's what we think. We think this is a huge trade for Seattle. Again, I think he's an amazing player.
Don't forget to give me a follow. Go check out Joe Nubo. Click on him. Give him a follow. And even though Ray's not here, type in Ray Route. Give him a follow.
But you don't have to. You don't have to follow him. Just just us. Just us.
All right. So until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen with Joe Nubo, Sportscaster News. Have a good one.
Later.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.